Hello there, I'm Lloyd Evans and you're watching the John Cedars channel, not from the bunker as you can plainly see, but from an undisclosed location somewhere on the Croatian coast. Yes, I am on my holidays, due to go back tomorrow. I swore I wouldn't make any videos while I was on holiday. I've really needed to unwind after a very long and stressful convention season of doing the convention rebuttals, but I did receive a really interesting voicemail, I think it was yesterday, and I thought I can't not do a reply to that. So here is said voicemail.
I'm very thankful for all the information you show on your videos. Well, the thing is that I've been raised as a Jehovah's Witnesses since the very first time I was born, I guess. Tomorrow will be 4 years. I've been baptized and I've been hesitating the last year. And as you said in many of your videos, I just don't want to be true, the things you said. I mean, I really like this life. I like most of the things on the organization, but as I've been watching you, as I've been watching all your videos, I realize that you're right, and I don't want you to be right. And the question I have is, what this organization, what does the governing body gains from all of this? Because I'm pretty sure my dad is an elder, and he doesn't get a coin for all the work he has done, and I'm pretty sure they don't profit with all of this. They don't have this money benefits of doing this. Why, if this is not real? Because, well, as I saw on your videos, many of these things are not real. But what do they get from it? Why to do all of this? Why to make such an effort to try this to be real if they don't get anything? I'm pretty sure that the brothers, the governing body in the USA, have a better life than us in South America and many other brothers in the rest of the world. But I don't think that the organization has something to do with that. Well, that's my question. What do they get of doing all of this, such a big deal? Well, that's it. Thank you for listening. And again, I want to be anonymous on your video. Don't show my name. And it's really good to have this chance to, I don't know, ask you something or to be in contact with you. Okay. That's it, I guess. Goodbye.
Okay, so thank you. Again, I won't be sharing your name on my channel. I fully understand the situation that you and many others are in, namely of waking up and being in a situation where you're surrounded by believing friends and family and you can't make known your feelings about the organization. And I very much relate to what you were saying about not wanting it to be true, listening to people online. In my own case, it was reading JW Facts and thinking, right, my faith is going to turn out to be true after I've subjected it to scrutiny. I'm going to be vindicated. My faith is going to end up being rock solid, and I'm going to be able to forge ahead in Jehovah's organization and not give apostasy a second thought ever again. But when you do start going online and seeing what myself and others have to say, it just makes sense, doesn't it? You don't want it to be true, but it's true. So I do relate to that. As to your question, so you seem to be asking essentially what's in it for them, what's in it for the governing body. They don't seem to be like some televangelists. I'm thinking of people like Kenneth Copeland. It doesn't seem that they are overtly enriching themselves due to their position. There are some who would argue with that, I know. Some who would say, yes, but you see them wearing fancy watches, or you see them with pinky rings, and they're flaunting their wealth. I don't buy into that too much. Yes, they do seem to enjoy the finer things in life. We know that they travel first class when they're on assignments around the world. And look, it's difficult to imagine that the governing body members don't live incredibly comfortable lives as a result of their position. If you think about it, particularly these days when there's so much uncertainty, there's a huge incentive there to not have to worry about anything at all financially. I mean, these guys are looked after 24/7. They are doted over. They don't need to go grocery shopping. They don't need to worry about paying the bills. Everything gets paid for them, and they live comfortable lives. Now, is that the reason why they perpetuate this organization and why they insist on so many fawning over them and giving them all of this power and all of this adulation? I don't think that's the main reason. I don't think it has to be the main reason. There are other reasons than money as to why cult leaders proliferate. And for me, the main reason why you have cult leaders, why you have people who wish to generate a following, wish to generate a massive followers who are totally devoted to them, it's power. It's just power. Power can be intoxicating. Power is all that you really need to explain why the likes of Tony Morris, Stephen Lett, David Splain, Samuel Hurd, it's all you need to explain why they do what they do. Now, the extent to which they are deluded versus the extent to which they are cynical, in other words, the extent to which they are knowingly perpetuating a scam is open to some debate. But if your argument is, well, it can't be all that bad, and I know this isn't what you're arguing, you're just putting forward the standard Jehovah's Witness defense of, well, they can't be perpetuating a scam because there's nothing in it for them. Not so. Not true. All you need is the power. It could be that to some degree these men are knowingly scamming people. They don't believe it themselves. They just have realized that they're onto a good thing and they're going to keep it going as long as possible. I personally believe that while there's an element of that, it's far more nuanced. I think that they, to a degree, I know it's hard to generalize because we're talking about 8 different individuals, but to a degree, I think they've bought into their own BS. I think they believe what they're teaching. At least that's the impression I get when I'm watching hours and hours of their footage. Yeah, I think that they, at some level, and just as one example, we've had Gerrit Loesch talking about moments in his life, and he's been tearing up on camera. I think that's hard to achieve if you're not a trained actor. I think Gerrit Loesch in particular seems to be totally sold on the BS. And if you think about it, why wouldn't he be? Because he was selected in the first place to be on the governing body because he was a devoted believer, because he was a yes man, because he was willing to put the organization first above everything. That's how you managed to get on the governing body to begin with, by proving yourself to be totally committed to the organization. So yeah, I guess the answer in short is it doesn't need to be about money. And you give the example of your father, who is an elder, and you say, well, he doesn't receive a penny. Now, I think there are good elders out there. I tried to be a good elder, and I can remember when I was an elder, there were other good elders who were just trying to, in their own way, within the confines of what Watchtower allows, they were trying to make people's lives better. They were trying to offer some kind of spiritual support, some kind of comfort. They weren't obsessed with all the rules. They just wanted to uplift those around them. I tried to be that kind of elder, and I'm going to assume your father is that kind of elder as well. Even in that situation of an elder in a congregation, the power is still intoxicating. It's very, very addictive to have a whole group of people in your local community looking up to you, hanging on your every word, and lavishing you with respect. Once you get into that position, it's very, very hard to break free from it, because you again want it to be true, because you quite enjoy all of the respect and all of the reverence that people in your local community are giving you. I've never met your father. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume he is one of the good ones, one of the nicer elders. But even in his situation, speaking as someone who has been an elder, I have to say that power is a compelling reason for sticking with something, even if you have doubts in the corner of your mind, even if you sort of know, it's not really true though, is it? But I'm in this position where people are looking up to me and people are expecting leadership from me. People really seem to value me for my wisdom and for my position as an elder. So even in that local situation of an elder, yes, I'm afraid power is an issue. Power is a factor in perpetuating the system, in perpetuating a set of beliefs and a set of policies that are actually harmful and toxic and abusive and manipulative. So I don't know whether this is the answer you were expecting, but that's my answer to your question, and it was an excellent question. And may I just say, I really do admire your bravery in reaching out to the John Cedars channel. You mentioned that you're in South America. I'm obviously not going to mention anything beyond that because you've specifically asked me not to. But I think it's really brave of you to be challenging your beliefs, to be moving through that pain barrier in listening to information that, like you say, you don't want it to be true, but you're willing to at least consider the possibility that it is, because ultimately you don't appreciate being lied to. So maybe I'll get to meet you one day and shake your hand, but until then, thank you so much for calling in to the John Cedars channel. If you're watching this video and you would like to ask me a question, the address that you need to use is speakpipe.com/Cedars. That is the URL for my voicemail. I welcome any and all questions. I try to listen to all the voicemails, but I don't always have time to respond to them, but I do try to at least listen to them if nothing else. But that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the John Cedars channel for more of them, and as always, thank you for watching.